Hello and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be finishing off my mermaid challenge, which if you're new to the channel or you just haven't been keeping up, I'll have a link up here somewhere in the corner to a video kind of explaining how I did mermaid this year. In this video, I actually have 8 prompts and 8 drawings compared to my other 2 videos where I only had 4 drawings per video. That is because in my last videos, I only had a week's worth of drawings in them, where in this one I have 2 weeks worth of drawings. This first prompt you are seeing here is dessert. I decided to make a ice cream themed mermaid, where I had the hair represent vanilla ice cream, the top represented strawberry ice cream, the skirt represented chocolate ice cream, and the tail was to represent a cone, even though I also had her sitting on a cone in the background. I also decided to give her little cherry accessories in her hair just to add something extra to her general design. And you will notice that in this video, the drawings go by very fast, and that is because I like to keep my videos around the 10-minute mark and under if possible, so in order to keep the video around that length, I had to make the speed paints go by super fast. Next, we have the second prompt in this video, Warrior. This actually ended up being one of my favorite drawings out of the 16 that I did this month. I just think it turned out really cool with the pose, the lighting, and the general character design. Also, the references that I use for this drawing's pose and pretty much all of my drawings poses I find on Pinterest, which you can find my Pinterest link down below, where I have a board just with different references for a drawing and projects and whatnot that I have personally saved that you can check out, and then you can also kind of see where some of the inspiration for some of my drawings are. I generally just use Pinterest for finding references and whatnot, but I have posted a couple of my own drawings there as well. Also, another reason why I quite like this drawing is because for once I finally looked at some references just to how to do proper lighting of underwater drawings, so I think it just generally turned out a lot better than some of my last underwater mermaid drawings. But yeah, that is the final thing. Now we can move on to the next prompt. Now this next prompt is Monochrome, and this drawing definitely has a completely different feel than my last ones, as when I think of monochrome, and especially like black and gray white themes, I think of just like sort of like sadder, less happy sort of images. So I kind of wanted to portray that in this, so I had this poor little mermaid just kind of like scrunched up by herself. Like I said, it's just definitely a lot darker than my other stuff, but it isn't anything too extreme, and while I still wanted to keep it pretty much all black and white, I added a bit of coloring into the shadows just to make it a bit more interesting. But yeah, that is the final drawing, and like I said, these are going by super fast, and especially this one, as it didn't take me as long as the other ones, mostly because I didn't have to worry about a color palette. Anyways, now we have the prompt Nature. So this one probably was like one of the most difficult for me, just because I wasn't really happy with how it was turning out, and after this I had a bit of art block and I fell behind by a couple, but that is okay. So for this one, I just did some sort of like underwater nature goddess type of thing, like sleeping at the bottom of an ocean. Yeah, there isn't too much thought put into the story behind it, but that's just generally what I was planning for this character. So when I was first planning this character, I was originally going to do like some sort of like flower type of theme with her, but since I figured it is supposed to be a mermaid and under sea, I thought it'd be more fitting to do like nature plants. And even though this is my favorite drawing, I also quite like how the effects and lighting turned out in this one. So yeah, there you have it, the final drawing for the prompt Nature. Now we can move on to the next one. I think this is maybe like the 5th one, I'm not really sure, but we have the prompt Mythical. So this one, I also struggled a bit at first just trying to come up with what it is I wanted to do, as mermaids are already very mythical creatures, but I just went onto Pinterest and searched up mythical, and I got a lot of like deer type of pictures, so I thought it'd be cool to make a mermaid mixed with a deer. Also, don't hate me. I did just take a picture of a moon I found on Google and put it in the background. Okay, I'm sorry, but I just didn't have the time or patience to try and figure out how to draw the moon. Anyways, there's the final drawing. I decided to do some cool like room lighting effects. I have no idea if I did it correctly, but I just thought it would look cool with the moon and add to the mythical aspect of the drawing. And now we are on to the prompt Masquerade. So this drawing I actually ended up doing a bit differently than the rest of the ones, because instead of doing a full body or at least a half body, I did sort of like a bust head drawing, I guess. I haven't done one for all Mermaid just because I wanted to include the tail, but I figured if I added the fancy like fish ear type of things, it would still keep it with the mermaid aspect. Anyways, I decided to just make this like pink mermaid holding some sort of masquerade masks. Once again, I didn't put much effort into coming up with a backstory for this character, but I still think it turned out pretty cool. And there you have it, the finished drawing for the Masquerade prompt. Probably my favorite part of the drawing is the hair. I just think it turned out really cool, and I've generally been trying to improve how I draw hair. Anyways, now we can move on to the second to last prompt, royalty. So for this drawing, I decided to make a merman king. I think merman's the proper term for like guys who are mermaids, but it doesn't really matter. And I decided to give him this like seashell crown just because I thought it would look cool and fit in with all of Mermay better than just a regular crown. This also ended up being one of my favorite drawings. I just think the design of the character is really cool, and I love the dress and that sort of like corset bit. And I kind of did that because I didn't want to have to draw the like actual like laces of a corset, but I still wanted to have that sort of like cinching aspect to the dress. But yeah, I think it turned out really cool. And for the eyes, I ended up kind of like getting rid of pupils and just making it all black. But yeah, that is the final drawing. And now we can move on to the actual final drawing, which uses the prompt sunset. So for this one, like not many of the drawings had a lot of thought put into the prompt, but I decided to make the last one sunset because it's like the end of the prompt, it's the end of the day. I just thought it would be fitting. So I decided to draw this mermaid on the beach, leaning against a rock, looking out into the sunset. So I struggled for a bit trying to draw the sunset, and at first I was going to do this like gradient, more realistic approach, but instead what I ended up doing was I just drew a bunch of lines and dots and kind of blurred it just the tiniest bit. And yeah, that is the final drawing. This is once again one of my favorites, and as I said in previous videos, I feel that just as like the month has gone on, I've slowly liked my drawings more and more, which I believe is like a pretty cool sign of improvement. And yeah, I think the colors look nice and everything, and I love the way the character turned out. And yeah, there you have it, the final mermaid drawing. So this challenge was definitely difficult because I've never done anything like this where I had a month-long challenge with so many different prompts, but it was super fun, and I think I got some really cool drawings out of it. And overall, I'm just really glad that I took the challenge and decided to do Mermaid this year. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who participated using my mermaid prompt list. I had a couple of people show drawings on YouTube, but I had a lot on Instagram, and it just means so much to me, and it's honestly so cool to see so many people creating amazing artworks using my prompt. Anyways, make sure to give a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments down below which mermaid was your favorite. And if you're new to the channel, or you just haven't already, make sure to subscribe. We are getting so close to 200 subscribers, and honestly, thank you all so much. It really means a lot to me how much support you guys have been giving me. Anyways, that's all that I have to say for now, so remember to stay weird, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!